The job market in 2026 is complete shit.
And these jobs are unreliable. Of course, this means thousands and thousands of people will be laid off. This will be less money in the economy. If you didn't know, consumer spending is down 14 straight months.
How the fuck is this happening for the third time in 9 months?
I mean, everybody losing their job.
Why does it seem like tech's goal is to replace people?
Take that in, 1.2 million to 1.5 million Americans losing their jobs. Now, just to put that into a little bit of perspective for you, just over 1 million people live in my state. Close to 1.2 million live in my state. So more people in this country could lose their job than live in my actual state.
Losing a job in 2026 doesn't just hurt, it hollows you out in a way that you just can't describe. There's a shock that hits before the fear does, before the anger does, before any of it. Just the sudden, disorienting stillness. People lose jobs every year, but something about 2026 feels colder, faster, and more ruthless than ever before. Millions of people this year went from fully employed to completely blindsided, often with little warning and even less explanation. And the hardest part isn't even the job itself. It's everything that disappears that's tied to it the moment it's gone. Check this out.
Well, what's up, everybody? Here we are, January 2026. And not to disappoint, it has come in with a bang. What can I say? Laid off once again. You know, this economy is really starting to irritate the shit out of me. Companies are folding up quicker than a damn fake $2 bill. People are losing their jobs quicker than you can run out of hot water and a good shower. And this shit is just really, really annoying. So, if anybody knows who's hiring, looking for a good HR person, hey, I'm out here again. Look at me up on LinkedIn. I'm on there. I'm everywhere. Problem is, every damn body in the same boat I'm in. Oh, everybody in the same damn boat I'm in. What we gonna do?
Enough people aren't asking why, and I'm saying this to you as a woman in STEM. Not that I have to qualify myself, but I was leading and the evaluator of our district's high school, middle school tech ed programs. And he believed was that tech was always for the improvement and the flourishing of human beings. Are you following? I need you then to ask yourself now, why would that not be the goal now? Why does it seem like tech's goal is to replace people? I'm just going to read a few companies that have laid off due to workforce tied restructuring and AI investment shifts. As Cloudflare, Coinbase, Restworks, GitLab, General Motors named it. Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Oracle said restructuring. So far in 2026, over 300,000 US layoffs, with tech being almost 100,000.
Okay, so boom. So it's quite possible that in the midst of its alleged untimely death, Spirit Airlines is going straight to hell along with James Charles. Here's why. 6 former employees are hoping to sue the Biscoff cookies off of Spirit Airlines, okay? And they're hoping that this is going to be a class action lawsuit. And what they are alleging is that Spirit Airlines was in violation of the WARN Act. And the employees are saying that they were improperly let go and they did not get proper warning before they were let go. So the WARN Act is the Federal Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act. And what these 6 employees are saying is that we got a class action lawsuit, okay? Because under the WARN Act, Spirit Airlines was supposed to give us at least a 60-day notice that we was getting ready to be unemployed. But this is why I say that Spirit might be going to hell, okay? Because the employees are also alleging that Spirit lied to them. that they was told that everything was gonna be cool. People talking about them getting ready to get shut down was a rumor. They didn't need the trip. They was gonna be all right. They was gonna get it figured out. Everything was gonna get worked out. All of a sudden, everybody unemployed, insurance, health insurance, everything cut off day of. And so now the employees is like, run us our bread, Spirit. We want back pay. Okay, you finna pay these attorney fees. We also they asking for we want our vacation time, our sick time. Run us our money. You play with us. What's even more scandalous is that allegedly right before the company got shut down, people were pitching to the top 3 executives for bonuses. You don't need a bonus. You failed. The company gone. And the other thing that really irks my nerve about this is not only did I realize or do we realize that obviously people who need cheaper flights were fine with Spirit, or if you just needed a last minute whoop de whoop because you was trying to get somewhere, flew with Spirit. You know what kind of demographic they had on there in terms of passengers. But I've been watching these videos on TikTok of these former Spirit employees, and I see a lot of black women. Yeah, I see a lot of women. Honestly, I see a lot of women of color who used to work for that organization, used to work for that company. So y'all just okay. So we not gonna talk about that part. And then they talking about the former CEO finna get 5 million for what? What you need 5 million for? You didn't cut these people health care got cut off same day. Huh? They ain't get their back pay. They baby. Okay.
This morning I woke up to like 15 pings from work that were like, hey, just checking in about the news. Like, hey, just saw the email. Hey, let me know how you're doing. And it was like 7 a.m. and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I obviously log in and see that my company just laid off 300 people. If you don't know me, I've been at my new company for 9 months. This is now the 3rd time that they've laid people off since I've joined. So yeah, I have some PTSD and yeah, it makes me nervous. I did get the magical email that was like, we have notified all people. If you have not been notified, your role was not impacted. It's just fucked up. It just sucks. Everything about it sucks. 300 people is not a small group of people. That's entire teams. That's entire departments sometimes. Even though my role wasn't impacted, the powers that be, it's just, yeah, it feels kind of icky. Part of me is like really unmotivated and disheartened and like, what are we all doing here? We just impacted like 300 real humans in their everyday life. Like I'm getting emotional talking about it because like I was one of those people like a year ago. So I just know what they're going through and it like fucking sucks. I just feel for them. And part of this is like angry tears. And I'm like, our CEO gets like a multi-million-dollar bonus if at the end of the year or the end of the quarter we're like X% profitable. And the quickest way you do that is to eliminate costs associated with salary and operations. So it fucking sucks to know that like I work for leadership that prioritizes that over the humans. I know it's a business, like I understand that. I'm not living in La La Land, but it's just shitty. So now the last hour of this morning has been like, did you hear about this person? Oh, these 3 people aren't here anymore. Oh, this entire team is gone. Which team? Oh, our sustainability team. You know, just like a core value of our company that we preach all the time, sustainability. No, we don't need them anymore. Unnecessary. part of me is so frustrated because it's like, how the fuck is this happening for the third time in 9 months? What world are we living in? So now I have to go inside. I just did daycare drop off. To go inside, I have to get ready and fucking carry on. How the fuck is this happening for the third time in 9 months?
Consumer spending contributes 68% of the GDP, the spending. So if 68% of the growth is bad, you know that it's going to be bad. My name's Christina. I have a master's degree in business. We are heading for a recession or even a depression. Please do the best that you can to get your finances in order. Do not spend money. Of course, this means thousands and thousands of people will be laid off. This will be less money in the economy. If you didn't know, consumer spending is down 14 straight months, and consumer Stanley's Black & Decker is closing a plant in Connecticut, laying off 300 employees. IKEA is closing stores. Francesca is closing. Saks off 5th. Neiman Marcus last call. Macy's is cutting 150 stores. Kroger is cutting stores. That's the grocery retailer, also known as Smith's. 7-Eleven is closing stores. REI is closing. Wendy's is closing stores. Pizza Hut is closing stores. Apple is closing select stores. Walgreens is closing select stores. CVS Pharmacy, Rite Aid, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, Big Lots, Best Buy, Bed Bath & Beyond, Party City, Foot Locker, Champs Sports, Kids Foot Locker, The Gap, Banana Republic, Old Navy, JCPenney's, Nordstrom's, Kohl's, Burlington, Ross Dress for Less, TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Home Goods, GameStop, Office Depot / Office Max, Staples, Starbucks, Subway, TGI Fridays, Red Lobsters, Denny's, IHOP, Buffalo Wild Wings, Chili's, Applebee's, and Olive Garden so far have announced store closures for 2026.
I mean, everybody losing their job. How come so many people are getting laid off right now? The stuff that some people don't even talk about. Let's talk about it right now. The Tiki way. First, we're going to start off with tech layoffs. Let's start off with that. They are slowly but surely making reconstruction cuts on the low for places big as Amazon, Google, and Meta. Oh, y'all trying to figure out who getting laid off in the midst of that? Those positions includes HR, tech divisions, and so many more losing their jobs. Let's carry on. Now we're moving on to retail. Can you believe stores such as Target, Walmart, and so many more are getting hours cut back? Yes, hours. Nobody are making the 40 that they deserve. That includes Macy's. You didn't hear it from here. I mean, but for real, it don't stop there. We also have media and entertainment, social media, such things as Disney Plus, the Warner Brothers. What else do they have? Paramount Plus.
Take that in, 1.2 million to 1.5 million Americans losing their jobs. Now, just to put that into a little bit of perspective for you, just over 1 million people live in my state. Close to 1.2 million live in my state. So more people in this country could lose their job than live in my actual state. So they want to cut the federal workforce by 50%. We've all seen the stories about Social Security, IRS, and other agencies being ordered to cut your staff by 50% by this certain date. Do you understand how many Americans that's going to impact? Do you really understand the scale of that? And we're already seeing reports that offices are being closed. Social Security offices across the country are being closed. Leases are being canceled. Now, this is estimated to impact anywhere between 1.2 to 1.5 million Americans could end up losing their jobs as a result of these cuts.
Talking about layoff, unfortunately, I got laid off by the end of last year. I was literally shocked. Well, shocked and expected, because at that point, our company went through a large acquisition, but I was never expecting in that kind of way. I remember that day, it's like a normal working day. I had a scheduled one-on-one meeting with my manager, and I was in the meeting room, and I literally saw my manager and HR walking together slowly towards the meeting room. I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening here? And then they came in the room, sitting down and starting to with, I'm sorry, this is happening. Layoffs. My head exploded, and I can't even really hearing what they're talking. And I think the best thing you do is try your best to listen, but do not promise anything, and trying to let your brain process the shocking news and asking for time for digest the news. Cried, for sure, and I said goodbye for the friends in the office. I was so emotional that day. It's okay. We are human. It's hard, but you have to come across it. There are things I learned during the whole layoff process. I wish someone have told me or someone warned me when I was in that process.
The job market in 2026 is complete shit. I know of so many people out here that are trying to find work, including myself, and no one will hire us. AI is slowly but surely going to take over, and within the next couple of years, they're most likely going to 100% replace all of us. And it's like a lot of us kind of hit this point of not really seeing the point, because we know if we work a job, we're just going to be trapped in this endless cycle of pain and misery and poverty. A lot of us have kind of just gotten to a point where we're saying screw it, doing our own thing, trying to figure out other ways to make money, other ways to make income, hanging by a thread, and just trusting that the universe is somehow going to guide us through all of this. Because after you spend a majority of your time on Indeed, putting in job applications, going through all these interview processes, and you never hear back from anybody, it just kind of makes you lose hope. And after you go through all these interviews and they offer you like $14 an hour starting out, knowing it doesn't match the astronomically high cost of living, it genuinely makes you question, what is the point?
And these jobs are unreliable because, like I said, at any moment, whenever whoever feeling petty or whatever manager feeling petty, they'll change your schedule. They'll deny your PTO. They'll cut your hours down. The company will go under. They'll just fire you on the spot and they don't give you 2 weeks. Like, they are so unfucking reliable that it's kind of imperative in this day and age now. You have to be building something up for yourself. Like, yes, work your job or whatever, your 9 to 5 or your whatever, your bull job, whatever the case is. But it's like you need to also be building something that for you, by you. So that way, when those companies become unreliable, at least you can say, well, at least I was building this thing that I'm able to make, this much a month or this much a week. At least I was putting some energy into this thing and letting this thing grow over here. So now I have this I could rely on for a little bit. Like, you gotta have something else outside of the job that you can fall back on because these jobs are not reliable.
The hurt that comes with losing a job in 2026 is real. It is valid. And it deserves to be said out loud. Nobody should have to sit in that shock quietly and pretend that it's not as heavy as it is. If this video put words into anything that you've been feeling, that like button is right there. Thank you. And it genuinely helps people find this. Subscribe, because these are the conversations that need to be happening. And this is a space where it's okay to say so. Happy every day.
I know it over.